So welcome to KateGardnerLife.com. Thank you for being here. My name's Kate. I'm a menopause coach, I'm a life coach, and I'm a lifelong yogi. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about me, a little bit about how you can use this website, and a little bit about how you can work with me. A bit about me. I live in Valencia in the countryside, but I'm from London, as you can hear from my voice. I worked in media for many years, and in 2010 I decided to retrain as a yoga teacher. I've been doing yoga since I was about 21. I discovered yoga when I was a child, but I really got into it when I was about 21. And for me, it had always been like a real calling for me. So in 2010, I did my first yoga teacher training. I then trained as a pregnancy yoga teacher. I then trained as a Pilates teacher. I then did many more yoga teacher trainings in restorative yoga, in Yin Yoga. And in 2015, I moved to Ibiza and became a full-time yoga teacher. I left my career in media. And I lived in Ibiza for 7 years, and I started my perimenopause really and my perimenopause journey in Ibiza through my own symptoms. I started to get a lot of kind of weird symptoms, and at that time there was not really a lot of people talking about it. So I sort of started delving into different areas. I trained as a hormone yoga therapy teacher. I then trained as a menopause mentor. I then trained as a menopause yoga teacher, and I then trained as a menopause coach. And my most recent training 2 years ago was as a life coach, and I'm actually doing another training at the moment. I like training. Well, let's start by talking about my yoga. So I love yoga, I'm passionate about yoga, and I teach in person in Valencia twice a week on Saturdays and on Tuesdays. So if you are in Valencia, do reach out. I would love to share my classes with you. And I also teach in this little studio that's behind me, like a little tree house attached to my house. I teach here. So at the moment, my classes are running in the evening because it's so hot on a Wednesday evening or a Sunday evening at 8 o'clock Spain, 7 o'clock UK. And just to explain my style, because I often get asked this. So when I started teaching yoga, my own yoga journey, my style used to be quite strong, but it's really changed over the years as my own life and my own journey has changed. So I brand my yoga as soft flow to yin. And that is really, it really changes depending, like at the moment it's very hot, so the flow part of the classes are very much just about stretching, keeping everything really low. We always start with breath work, we always start with meditation. Normally in my classes we do at least 3 or 4 different pranayamas because that's such an important tool to calm the nervous system. And then we move into like yin poses where we hold for longer. Sometimes there's a more restorative element. We use blocks, we use cushions, we use belts, anything that we have around. And my classes are really designed for women in midlife or people that just really want to calm down and that just want that class to just absolutely release and relax and de-stress. They're soft, they're gentle. I often connect themes in. So recently we've been working with the emotions. This week we're working with the lower back. Sometimes we work with chakras. And I often really weave the themes in to the class. So there's a really deeper meaning and a real connection to the heart when you come to my classes. So if you would like to join a yoga class, then please do reach out to me. I would love to welcome you. So I want to talk a little bit about my background as a menopause specialist. So I actually started this sort of journey of supporting women when I was in Ibiza, and I became a birth doula. And actually quite a lot of birth doulas move into this menopause space because in essence you're holding women in a different but really important stage of their life. So I trained as a menopause wellbeing practitioner, kind of like peer-to-peer support. I trained as a menopause coach and also as a menopause yoga teacher. I created a little community here called the Embodied Midlife Method, which is a Facebook group and also a very active WhatsApp group. And we have little meetups, and there's going to be some new incarnations for September. And I created that when I moved to Valencia because I didn't really know where to signpost my clients to. And so I wanted to connect with women to help them and also to help me to know who to refer to, who were the good gynecologists, which gynecologists spoke English, which ones were good and actually got like modern menopause. Many don't in Spain. And so I started this journey, building this community, and then I created a method called the Embodied Midlife Method. And this is based on everything that I've learned, but also my own experience. So there are 5 stages to this method. The first one is what I call nutritional optimization. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a naturopath, I'm not a dietitian. I don't give specific dietary advice. I just share what has worked for me. And what works for me is the Mediterranean diet. It's the most scientifically proven diet for women in menopause. And I love food. I love sharing recipes. So with the Embodied Midlife Method, you basically get all of the recipes that I love. You get a 50-page ebook that goes with the program. So the first part of it is nutritional optimization, just guidance, what's worked for me, how to eat healthy, what the Mediterranean diet is, some really lovely recipes, some easy recipes, and some little hacks, like things you can do when you're busy to get prepared and get organized. The second part of the program is movement medicine. And again, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm a yoga teacher. But one of the things that has helped me so much is finding little snacks of exercise. Now, if you can get to lots of classes, if you can train from home, whatever works for you is great. However you're moving and whatever feels good for you is great. So in this part of the program, we talk about, what you're doing, what's feasible for you, and I share the workouts that work for me that I love. And when I first started writing this ebook, I was suffering from a lot of back pain, and so I had to really, really work very slowly, and what I found worked for me was these little snacks of exercise. And still today, I'll just start with 10 minutes. I might come home and think, okay, I can do 10 minutes, I can manage that. While I'm cooking dinner, I'll pick my weights up and I'll do a little session. So that's really, the movement medicine is me sharing and supporting you through that little part of the journey. The third part of the Embodied Midlife Method is inner peace protocol, and this is so important as a yoga teacher. So this part of the program is really looking at how you're de-stressing, looking at yoga, looking at mindfulness practices, looking at breath work. And again, I share in the ebook all of the things that I love. I also share yoga classes, little short ones, full length ones, menopause ones, just a whole array, because I feel like a lot of women don't really understand the power of these practices and how these help us so much through this transition. So the fourth section of the Embodied Midlife Method is symptom navigation. So this is where we look at different protocols, why testing is good, why testing doesn't work, looking at your specific symptoms, looking at what your needs are, looking at the benefits, the pros and the cons of menopause hormone treatment, looking at the different types, what is bioidentical, what is body identical, what difference will they make to me, navigating doctor's appointments, what should I say? This is a big area, and for many women they do just get kind of told by their doctors that for whatever reason they need to go on this, or they shouldn't take that, or they shouldn't. So really this is just about looking at this landscape and breaking it down for you. So for some clients, this is a really big chunk of the program. For other clients, we could spend a few weeks working on other areas. It just depends on what your needs are. It might be that you're really struggling with sleep and that you really want some different protocols. It might be that you just want to traverse this journey naturally. You don't want to go with menopause hormone treatment. So you want to know some of the different things that are on the market that you could research. And the final part of the Embodied Midlife Method is emotional alchemy. And this is where the coaching comes in. So this is where I bring my life coaching in. And we really look at what's holding you back. Are you enough? What are your beliefs? What are your values? What do you hold dear in your life? And how are you living your life in alignment with those values? How do you use strategies for emotions? Do you understand that emotions are signals, and what can they mean? Is the way that you're expressing your emotions clear and filling you with joy and love? And this part of the program is often, where we get really deep and we look at those limiting beliefs, look at those blocks, and really help to try and move you forward with positive mindset and with lots of tools to guide you through your life. So if you're interested in this, or if you are struggling, or if you are feeling like really overwhelmed and confused, then please know that you can book a free clarity call to discuss this program in a little bit more detail and to discuss your needs. So it might be that you've got something that you really want to speak to me about. Give me a shout, let's put in a call, no obligation, and let's discuss your journey, because your journey is completely unique to you. So my most recent program is called the Reset Method, and this is a 12-week pure life coaching program to really help you go deep, to understand your emotional blocks, Conscious behaviours that are shaping your life. This is a 12-week program where we focus on your beliefs, the beliefs that shaped you. I am enough, I am worthy, things that happen maybe when you were a child, when you were at school, as you've grown up, your relationships, and these things that have subconsciously shaped you. We then start to move into the emotional landscape. This program is designed for anyone over the age of 35. It's not focused on midlife. I've got guys that are doing the program. It's focused on anyone who really wants to make lasting change, who wants to get a deeper awareness of emotional regulation, who wants to understand their attachment patterns, who wants to understand fear, shame and guilt and really move forward, but work quite deeply. So each week there'll be a different theme, there'll be a different class, there'll be a lot of time for you to share. I work with different clients differently. Some clients, want homework, some clients want check-ins, some clients don't. It just depends on what your needs are. At the start of the program, you'll fill in a questionnaire. We do check-ins throughout, so that I can make sure that you're on the right track. And depending on your needs, the program is tailored for you. If one week you decide that you really need to focus and we need to pivot, then we can pivot. But the program is designed for 12 weeks to really help you make lasting change. The first 6 weeks are designed to be weekly. And then the second 6 weeks of the program, we can design as you feel. So it might be that they'll run every 2 weeks. It might be that towards the end, we run the last few every few weeks, depending on what your needs and requirements are. If you would like to know more about the Reset Method, if you would want to talk to me about something specifically that you might need, then please do reach out and book a clarity call. Know that I'm here for you, know that I would love to connect. I completely love what I do and I would love to share that with you. So if you would like to join the Embodied Midlife Method, I'll put the links below to the Facebook group, and if you want to join the WhatsApp community, then please do let me know and I will send you the link for that. If you would like to know more about the coaching programs, do let me know. If you would like to come and try a yoga class, either in person or online in my little studio, I would love to welcome you. If you would like personal one-to-one yoga as well, please know that that is also available to you. So thank you for being here. Please do reach out. Please let me know what you think and do connect with me on social media. Thank you.